Hey y'all, I just had a comment on one of my videos. Was wondering what I've had to replace on this HarborFreight sawmill. It's about 2 years old now, close to it. One really good season cutting with it, and learned a lot through the process of it. But the comment was they wanted to know how this has lasted me, what parts needed to be replaced, etc. So I thought I'd bring you along here and talk about that. But first of all, if you haven't subscribed to my videos yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and give a thumbs up or give a thumbs down, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about my HarborFreight sawmill. You think I could have spent more money? Well, some of us just ain't got more money. And that's what the comment was from the guy that left the comment was they can't afford to go all in out. So anyway, I'm going to talk about one thing is the doors on here kept on swinging open. I had locked this and that on down. I mean, no matter what I did. Well, I could have put a lock on it, but then when you want to get in there, sharpen the blade and turn the wheel and do stuff, it was just a pain in the ass. So I took the good off. Hey, no big deal as far as I'm concerned. But you got to work safe when you ain't got the cover on the front. Got to be careful when you come around the front. You see me wear loose shirts. That's stupid, you know, and I know that. And I'm telling people, if you're going to work around any power equipment, don't wear loose clothes. One problem that I have is these rollers, back rollers, they kind of you can't grease them. I got to squirt them with WD-40 just to kind of keep them free. And the friction guides out in the weather, the first year, these friction guides would rust up inside there from sitting. So I got this shelter here, and I keep it dry in the wintertime, and that has helped some. Another thing that I've had problems with is the belt starting to work loose, you know, stretching and stuff. Yeah, the drive belt. And so I've had to tighten that a few times. Learning the adjustments of it on how to get the tracking device and everything set up just the way it's supposed to go has been another learning curve. No fault of HarborFreight. That's just somebody that hasn't ran one of these a lot. You know, you start learning the ins and outs on it. So anybody getting a sawmill, I don't care what sawmill you get, there's going to be a learning curve. It's just like when you're cutting a board and the board is waving up and down. A lot of times people will say, well, it's a dull blade. Not necessarily. It's not necessarily a dull blade. It could be the tension is wrong. It's too loose. Or it could be you're not getting adequate water supply to your blade and you got green lumber or pitch on it or something, you know, that heats up the blade. And when the blade gets hot, then it wants to wander up and down more. There's a number of things that can cause your blade to wander up and down, whether it be your tension, etc. The things that I've had to replace on here, I haven't even replaced the spark plug yet. You know, the motor, everything all on that's all original. The clutch is all original. The bearings are still doing fine here. My only beef when I got it is when I was setting this here on up. This bolt right here, I don't know if you can see that. Let me bring you up to it. This bolt here, I had to add this bolt here because on the back side there's a clamp nut. You know, it clamps, so this whole thing pinches on this pipe, and it wouldn't hold. No matter how tight. So I got it to the height that I wanted. I drilled a hole through it and I put a bolt in there, and that solved that problem. Didn't have to replace nothing. I just had to add something. On the back side, this handle here. Let's see, not very good lighting on here. This lock handle here. Yeah, this hose is in the way. This lock handle here is bound up. It's bent. And, you know, this doesn't like hold really good, this clamp here. The clamp on this side here works great. It works fine, you know. But yeah, did you see that? This one here. This clamp there works great, holds fine. But this one here, I've always had problems with it. You can see here, I'm trying to pull down, it's kinked, it's bent. I don't know, that's been the one problem. But hey, that's minor, that can be fixed, that can be repaired. The other complaint is the water supply. And I suppose that they all have this problem. You have the water up high and it's all gravity flow. When the container is full, it releases water, because of the pressure. And as it runs down lower and lower and lower on in here, it puts out less and less water. Hope you're not getting dizzy here, folks. But, so when it's the water here, and I've been talking about this for quite a while that I need to fix this, but I haven't done it yet. The water supply right here, can you see this here? This water supply here, the water runs on out and dribbles on the blade. Well, the thing is pointing forward, so when you turn the water on, see that? The water is coming out, shooting, it's not even hitting the blade. So you have to adjust the water just right. If you cut it too slow, it won't hit the blade at all. It falls behind the blade. If you get it too fast, it goes in front of the blade. And as the water pressure goes on down, you get it set just right. As the water level on the tank up here goes down, where is that? Well, you can't see it here. As it goes down, that water will run out of there slower and slower and slower, causing the water to fall behind the blade. So a correction is that I got to do is I got to get in and buy another one of these copper tubings right here, a soft copper tubing. That's just clamped in there. Take this copper tubing out, get a longer one, and bend it and point it down towards, no matter what the water flow is, it's running right on the blade itself and not having a chance to overshoot or undershoot. So that's the fix that I need to get on with this thing. But that's my only complaint. The sawmill has been holding up good. It is kind of underpowered, the saw is. But with a good sharp blade on it, it cuts just fine. And having everything tuned up just right, having the tension set just right on it. It's very critical that you have the tension just right on it. So that's the other thing is just learning the saw itself, where the tension needs to be at. Now, woodland mills, this is very similar to the woodland mills, the whole setup. But the woodland mills, on their T-handle here, they got a socket here, and you can put a torque wrench on here when you get it, know what it's supposed to be. And the woodland mills even tells you what the torque is supposed to be using a torque wrench to tighten the bands. Learning the adjustment for the tracking device here. Got to loosen this nut here, got to loosen this, and this swings it in or out this way here. And this here tracks it up and down. And getting everything just set right. Once you get this here set, then you don't have to ever mess with that again. Other than when you're changing the blade, you just got to loosen things up enough to where the pulley can swing on in and get it. This one here, on this side, has four. You got this bolt that goes all the way through here, and that's for tracking this wheel this way. And these two here are for tracking it this way. So it's just a matter of learning the system. There's always something better on it to be improved. That is because it is a very inexpensive sawmill. Now I got the let me set this right. I got the tracks that came with it. They're 6 feet long. You bolt them together, and then you got basically 12 foot of track, and you can cut an 8 foot log. So you can cut with it, and you can order the extensions with that. I didn't go that route. I still have that setup, but I never even assembled it. Too many people were complaining about where it bolted together. Things didn't match on up. You run the wheels on down there and it would click right at those joints, and it was just annoying. I went ahead and bought my own tracks. Bought this 3x4 rail right here. Bought this and welded these, had these cross members made up, and just welded up my own track. There's some videos on that back there. Hey, Becky and Buddha. So that's the tracks itself cost me less than $500, and that's that's where I can get either 20 foot of track. I can cut a 16-foot log with this. I could take the tracks that they gave me and I could weld them to the end to extend it and make it where it doesn't have the click. And if I ever feel like I need to cut longer logs, I'll probably do that. But at this point, I don't really need it. Outside of that, I really don't have any real complaints. The problems that people have with cutting, including myself, isn't the sawmill. The problems that I've had cutting was me, not knowing how to address or learning how to address the problems of the learning curve. And there is a big learning curve to it. You're not just going to get a sawmill, set it on up, and go out there and start cutting like a professional. I mean, that's a pipe dream. It ain't going to happen. So anyway, folks, if you do like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I will be getting to this timber frame project here pretty soon. I hope you all sign up to be watching that. If you don't, now I stumbled on that one. Girls, if the guys don't find you handsome like me, they can find you handy like me. And if they don't find you handy like me, we'll just pray that they find you. Y'all come back now, you hear? Jeez, I need some more mountain water. Dang.